Hey, I've been having a little fun. I went out, did a Google search for images, and found this picture of Thomas Jefferson to include in the Bill of Rights page. This one of Abraham Lincoln to include with the Gettysburg Address. And this photograph of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King for the I Have a Dream page. So, how did I get them where they are? Well, I'm going to show you. Let's take a look. We're looking at the source code for the rights page. And here's my tag. Now what I did was simply put in the image tag, which is another one of those empty tags. So we open it and close it all within one tag. So we start out with IMG. Then I specify the source. SRC equals whatever the file name is for the picture. Now, a little tip for you. This was not the file name that copied down. No, I changed it to something that I could easily remember and spell. So I changed it to Jefferson, and it was a JPEG. So I left the extension JPG. So quotes are on that file name. And then, just as a good touch, I use the alt attribute for alternate text. Something to display if my user is on a browser that cannot display my image. So my alternate text is Thomas Jefferson. And then notice we're closing that tag with a space /. Okay? Now, it just so happened that the size of this picture was ideal for my web page. I wasn't so lucky on the other two. So if we go up to Dream, you'll see the same kind of syntax here. I've got image source equals king.jpg, alternate equals Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King in quotes, but the picture was huge. And so I needed to reduce its size. So I've got this third line, width equals 35% in quotes. Now, how did I know 35%? I didn't. I guessed at 25%, too small, went to 50, way too big, and then I split the difference and adjusted a little bit and ended up at 35%. There is one other attribute that I could use, and that is length. And it would be the same kind of a thing. Length equals, and then some percentage. Now, the problem here is if I'm not careful, I can distort my image. So I choose not to use both the length and the width. If I use just one, your browser will automatically adjust the other to maintain proportion in your image. So when I say width equals 35%, it automatically adjusts the length. So let's look at Gettysburg. Now with Gettysburg, again, it's the image tag. My source equals abe.jpg in quotes. My alternate text is Abraham Lincoln. And in this case, I had to experiment to find that 25% was my ideal width. Okay? So now what happened is it put these images over on the left-hand margin. And I wanted them to be centered, but I wanted to have good, solid HTML. So I didn't want to use any of the old tags for centering. So I went to my cascading style sheet, and I entered this styling for the image tag. And basically what it says is display is blocked. It's a fixed location. And then I'm saying margin right and margin left are automatic. When it sees auto, it adjusts both the left and right margin to center the image. And so we end up with Martin Luther King centered, Abraham Lincoln centered, and Thomas Jefferson centered. And that's all for now. Come on back, we'll have another podcast soon.